We're here on the Axopar 37 Suntop. It's the perfect day to test what this boat is all about. We've got sun, we've got wind, and we've got 700 horsepower right here. Let's go! With my experience of the 28, I suspected the 37 would be really good to drive, and unsurprisingly, lengthening the hull has done nothing to the drive of this boat. It handles the sea absolutely brilliantly, and these are big seas we've had out here today. It probably isn't coming across on the camera, but we've had some really big swells, and the 37 is in its element, skipping between the crests, landing softly as you like, and then just carrying on at anything up to 35 knots in properly serious troughs. And I mean that, it's really challenging conditions out here. And part of what makes driving it so good is the use of the twin 350 Mercuries. There's so much power on tap, torquey, nice linear delivery, instantaneous. As soon as you nudge these throttles, you get a lovely little burst of power. And of course, you can have twin 200s, top speed still 40 knots, but honestly, the 350s, they really do suit this boat down to the ground. And what's even more impressive is that sometimes on big outboard boats, you get a bit of slip in the corners, the props lose their grip. Not on this at all. You can turn as hard as you like, pretty much as fast as you like, and it just digs in, turns and heads back the other way. It's a fantastic boat to drive. So the deck design is a real trump card for the 37. There isn't an inch of space that isn't being used cleverly. Of course, you have this sunpad here below, which is that aft cabin that I mentioned, which we'll have a little look at later. But the focal point is this super sociable seating area that you have here. At the moment it's set up in driving mode, so the table's folded and all the seats are facing forward, but you can swivel all three helm seats so they face these seats, open the table, and then you have the sort of dining area you'd expect on a sort of 60-foot flybridge boat. Really, really impressive. One change they are going to make is obviously this is a little close to your head if you're 6 foot, so they're going to drop a well into this central bit here and actually increase the ledge. That sounds like it doesn't make too much sense, but what that does is if you increase the ledge, then you're going to look at it because it's that much higher. If you look at it, then you're going to step over it and not just trip on this little ledge here. So once you get in here, you will be sunk down and have a bit more headroom. Aft on the 37, you can either have a completely open deck, a wet bar, or as this customer's chosen, you can have this natty aft cabin, very similar to the one on the smaller 28, apart from it's bigger. Berths, perfectly comfortable, somebody over 6 foot. You can sit up in bed, you can sit here, there's enough headroom. Okay, you're not going to want to spend a couple of weeks in here, but a few nights, perfectly comfortable. And there's plenty of ventilation too, because not only do you have this opening hatch, there's another hatch at the back as well. So the major difference of the 37 over the 28, of course, is that you have a cabin forward as well, so let's go and have a look at that. Now, no matter what deck layout you go for, you always get this double cabin on the 37. Perfectly comfortable for a couple of adults and really adds an extra element to this boat's long cruising abilities. You also have some other creature comforts like a little sink here in a small galley unit, a bit of storage underneath. You also have a toilet, which is a nice touch. If you're going to be out for the day, it's great to be able to have that there. The only thing I would say about the boat with the aft cabin is that you don't have too much cooling space. There's only 2 quite small fridges on board this boat, something you don't have to worry about if you have the wet bar version. The driving position and dash design ripple with sensible Scandinavian design layout. Not only is the driving position absolutely brilliant, standing or seated, this standing position is perfect. Wheels so nice and close to you, throttles just under your hand, you're in the middle of the boat, it genuinely couldn't be better. And because you're sunk down, you're really nice and protected from this raked back windscreen as well. Covered in non-glare material, you can really easily reach both of the plotter screens. I mean, I really can't fault it. They've even fitted a nice little material holder here that you can pull away, put charts in and take home with you. And the other advantage about this version is, as I mentioned, you have this really easy to operate manual sunroof, goes all the way back, but you can get sunlight down onto the helm position if you want to. It takes a matter of seconds and it's very easy to use as well. What the 37 offers over the rest of the Axopar range is true long-term cruising and comfort, especially for a couple. But on top of that you get the wonderful deck spaces, sea-kindly hull, agile handling and searing performance, especially with these top-of-the-range twin 350 horsepower Mercuries. But the most incredible thing is that with all this kit and those top-of-the-range engines, this boat came in at just under £180,000 on the water, which is incredible value for money.